Hi, my name is Jennifer and I am going to show you how to make the houndstooth pattern in Procreate. I have a whole geometric pattern class that uses a lot of the Procreate's snapping functions and takes advantage of the cropping functions in order to get some really great, perfectly geometrical designs. So if you want to hear more about that, definitely find that class. I have that class in two places. It's on Skillshare and it's on my site as part of my membership. My membership gives you access to all of my classes, and all my new classes will be there in the membership. The first thing I do when I see a pattern is I break it down to the most basic square. This is obviously a million times repeated. So here it is. Here's the most basic square of this pattern. Let me just cut back all the other visuals there, and you can see it's quite simple. Making the diagonals is the challenging part in Procreate. Here you can see what we need to make, these 4 different pieces. These 2 are the same, but one of them is rotated. If you're familiar with my work, I like to keep the background separate from the design so you can change the color of it, and we're going to do that today as well. So I'm going to go ahead and just use black for now with a white background. So drag and drop black to a full new layer, select it and rotate it 45 degrees. Make sure snapping is on, distance at max, velocity at 5. And then we're going to go to freeform, so we can just drag this side down and it'll snap right in the middle and you get those gold lines. That means we're right in the middle. And now I'm going to go ahead and stretch this up, stretch this down, and stretch this out, and deselect. That is one of the triangles that we need. Now I need to duplicate that triangle, and I'm going to select it and rotate it, and then I'm going to shrink it till I get the 2 gold lines. You can see I still have freeform on, but it doesn't matter. As long as I get gold lines in both directions, then we're all set. All right, and now we just need this part to be removed to expose the white. So I'm just going to duplicate that one more time and keep this in this same position and shrink it. But because I want to be able to see it, I'm going to make it orange. So I'm going to select it and shrink it till I get those gold lines. So now we have this piece, and I need to use it to erase from this piece. So then this piece ends up becoming this perfect stripe here. So we can turn it off in order to do this, or you can keep it on. Select that layer by tapping the layer and tapping select. There's different ways to use select, and make sure you do it that way. And then just go to the layer the big triangle is on, tap the layer again and tap clear. And you've just cleared that orange triangle shape from this big triangle. And we don't need that orange triangle anymore. You can merge those 2 layers as well. And you have the background separate from the design. So we need 2 of these. I'm going to duplicate it. And you know what? I'm going to duplicate it again. I'm going to keep one as our little original here and just turn it off. All right, so I have one of those selected, and I'm going to shrink it to a corner. Again, getting the gold lines in both directions. And now I'm going to turn that off, and I'm going to select the other one. And this one I want to rotate 1, 2, 3, 4, and then shrink it till I get the gold lines in both directions. There we have it. So now we have one of these boxes needs to be black, and then our design is complete. So I'm going to turn these off because that helps us with the precision in Procreate and getting no pixel gaps when we're moving things around. So I added a new layer, and I'm just dragging black to it, selecting it, and shrinking it so I get the gold lines. Now let's turn them all back on. You can see I have no pixel gaps, no pixel gaps. That's really important. And I can merge those, all those black layers are now all on one layer. And now I have a separate color I can choose here for the background. It's not really the background, it's just the 2 tones of a houndstooth pattern. That's your design. That is your complete design. So now let's see what we do to get it to be more obvious that it's a houndstooth pattern. I'm going to duplicate this 4 times, so I have a total of 5, and just keep one turned off. I like to just keep an original set aside. And I'm going to select these 4. And let's go ahead and go to uniform here and shrink them, and you get the gold lines, and move 1 to each corner. So you can see the pattern emerging here. I'm going to merge those together and duplicate that a few times. Turn one off, select all 4, shrink them to the corner, move 1 to each corner. Everything snaps into place with gold lines every time. Make sure that happens. And merge those 4. You can keep going until it's quite small, but normally you can just adjust the scale once you upload it to your favorite place like Spoonflower or wherever you want to load your patterns. And of course, this design is all just the black, so the white is separate here. You can pick your favorite colors, and you can also alpha lock that black layer and change the black layer as well. Make sure you pick colors that look really good together because this is a pretty busy pattern. Orange and blue look good together, but if you don't get just the right tone, it's really jarring on your eyes. So definitely play around with color and have fun. Again, don't forget to find my geometric patterns class. You can see here I teach all sorts of different patterns. And when you make these patterns, you can also use the pattern and turn them into pattern brushes. I also have a pattern brush making class as well. See you later.